Do you hear that sizzle? This is a dish I call Banh à la Pobre, my love letter to cultural melting pots, and a crossbreed of high and low culture. You will need a couple eggs, plantains, a potato, mushrooms, I have brown and white beech, an onion, a whole bulb of garlic, ghee or oil, MSG, sugar, white pepper, soy sauce, oyster sauce, Shaoxing wine, toasted sesame oil, salt, a thin-cut steak, and some chicken liver pâté. And, to serve on the side, a mini baguette, tomatoes, lettuce, and salsa criolla. Banh is a dish consisting of pan-seared steak, typically with sautéed onions, pâté, and an egg, and occasionally mushrooms, and served with banh mi, a plain Vietnamese baguette, sliced tomato, and lettuce on the side. In Vietnamese, ba means beef, and na is to dodge. Ba na is typically served while it's still hot and sizzling in the vessel it's cooked in. You dodge the oil splatters. It's most always served in a thin, narrow cast iron skillet with a wooden base, and for no discernible reason other than pure irony, we cook the beef in a skillet usually cast in the shape of a cow. In Spanish, a lo pobre, or translated to English meaning like the poor, is a way of serving a dish in Peru. Any dish can be served like the poor, so long as you add a fried egg, fried potatoes, and or fried plantains. A common dish served a lo pobre is Bistec a lo pobre. It's like Peru's answer to steak and eggs. And Banh is like the Vietnamese answer to steak and eggs. At face value, Banh à la Pobre can be seen as an easy combination of both Vietnamese cuisine and Peruvian cuisine through steak and eggs, right? Except there's more. For the steak's marinade, we have garlic, oyster sauce, soy sauce, Shaoxing wine, white pepper, sugar, and MSG. The traditional marinade of the steak in Banh might seem familiar to Peruvians. It's like that of one of the most iconic Peruvian dishes, Lomo Saltado. Why is that when our two countries are literally an ocean away, over 12,000 miles apart? The answer is that both of our countries have been influenced through Chinese cuisine, specifically Cantonese cooking. Chifa, or Peruvian Chinese food, is a direct result of the culinary fusion from the Cantonese Coolies that came to Peru in the 1800s. And Cantonese cuisine is common in Vietnam both because imperialism and through proximity. Banh is also highly influenced by the Vietnamese experience with French colonialism. Back in those days, steak wasn't commonly eaten, and French food was seen as high class. If you could afford Western foods, you were well off. And maybe this is speculation on my part, but there's almost a certain aspirational element to French cuisine in Vietnam. If not now, certainly back then. French cuisine was seen worldwide as the cuisine to emulate, after all. And so the Vietnamese people have taken aspects of French cuisine and transformed it to our own, for our own tastes, and for what we could afford. The steak used for Banh is typically a thin, cheap piece of meat. Somehow, Banh became a street food, a sort of quick and cheap kind of breakfast meal that anyone and everyone can have. While the potato is certainly native to Peru, the plantain originated in Southeast Asia. While I'm not quite sure how it ended up in Peru, I imagine it had something to do with the Spanish Empire. After all, they did occupy the Philippines as well as most of the west coast of South America at the same time. But it also could have very well come in through the slave trade, as the plantain and the banana were used as intercropping plants to provide shade for plants like coffee, cacao, and pepper on plantations, as well as for cheap, consistent source of calories for the various slave laborers. In Peru, a lo pobre has an almost ironic connotation. When you eat like the poor, you have an absurd amount of food. Aspirational, maybe? Or maybe it's because the working class needed more cheap, filling food to do labor. But what does this dish mean for me, here in the US, which some would say is the ultimate melting pot, to have combined these ingredients together? I don't know. I can't really tell you. All I know for sure is this is far too much food for one person alone. I definitely had to save most of it for later. If you thought this video was interesting, please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know if you would like me to do more of this kind of video. I thought I'd do something a little different than a straight recipe, which I put in the description. I'll see you next upload.